You send him 41,000 emails, 350 voice messages, 744 tweets, 48 Facebook messages.
September 2025. Critical high-risk tortures severe, beyond I could never explain to anybody the severity or magnitude of internal braking sessions I'm subject to all day, every day. The amount of pressure on my jaw or in my institutional self is by far, number one, the worst crime I have ever seen in my entire life, bar none. That's including any murder, any kind of crime whatsoever. My jaw is completely wide shut. The amount of pressure on my internal organs is catastrophic. They have internalized that much life or that much power of my own life that the amount of pressure on my body is vast. It's severe, crippling physical agony. My jaw and ability to speak for myself has been snagged that severely. You can see the process where it's encapsulated my power or my life, and you can see the institutional self shut. It is that severe. I couldn't explain to anybody how outdated and how much something needed regulating in modern society than a modern institutional self in 2025. I believe it's outdated by about 100 plus years because of how severe it is. My jaw is completely wired shut. My physical ability to speak, to sleep, to even breathe or control over my own life is severe. So they've stripped out that much life now to keep physical control over somebody. They've stripped out an entire lifetime. There's an entire lifetime snagged or internalised in an institutional self where you can see the process where it's shut. Critical state still continues. Problem still persists. To go on hunger strike now for months, potentially 10 weeks, it's been put off and prevented continually internally by officers committing crime against my power and stripping it out, preventing me from hunger striking. I cannot explain to anybody the severity of the second by second state I'm in with my jaw wired shut and the institutional self encapsulated in a controlled state. It's been more and more common and more frequent that I'm not even leaving the tent because I haven't got the physical control or power to actually get up and get anything done. I haven't got the capability of physically getting anything done because they snag my power. They've internalised all my sex drives, all my sex power, all my sexual lust, all my sexual ability to get sexual tension, all my ability to sleep. The severity of my ability to breathe now being snagged by officers committing crime against me internally is serious. I have never seen anything as serious my entire life for the crimes being committed in an institutional self. I've made it clear on videos now continually that the level of crime committed in an institutional self just in one day is worse than what goes through my local courtroom. I'm still homeless, still living on the streets, still living in a tent. It's been now 2+ years, going on to 2.5 years, being homeless in a controlled, brain-dead state, getting worse and worse. Like I said, this video is just saying how serious this is getting. It means nothing to me because South Yorkshire Police have not taken any accountability whatsoever, not taking any responsibility. They're not acknowledging any crimes being committed. They've completely ignored everything I said last year, and the problem just got severely much worse. So years and years of being a victim of high-risk crime where officers has been completely ignored. South Yorkshire Police not taking any responsibility or acknowledging any crime. So it doesn't matter what stance or what's happening, doesn't matter how severe this issue is getting, you haven't got any place in society or got any other option but to hunger strike on the basis that South Yorkshire Police are not making any arrests, they're not taking any accountability. The fact is this, and this is the blatant fact of it, and I said this at the time of arrest last year. If South Yorkshire Police have arrested me for this complaint, which is all these videos, that's now over 5 years, so all these complaints South Yorkshire Police have arrested me for, they're not taking any accountability for it, they're not taking any responsibility for it, they're just ignoring it and basically branding me a liar or calling me a liar and it's costing me every day of my life. But the issue is, regardless of what stance you take on it, what opinion you've got, what anybody's thoughts are, what the legal stance is, you cannot live a life in society, you cannot get a life in society without officers or the system, including South Yorkshire Police, accounting for the crimes they've committed against you. They're not taking any accountability for forced sexual degrading, sexual humiliation, controlling me into 50 assaults, the fact they prevented me from having sexual relations frequently and continually, the fact I've been in a controlled state with my jaw wired shut, with the institutional self completely closed, that has nearly ended my life on 3 occasions, which it has got the potential or capability to end somebody's life when it's as seriously wired shut as that. And on 3 occasions they brought the process forward, and it has caused excruciating, catastrophic pain that I'm still in now, getting worse and worse, that can potentially end somebody's life or kill somebody. 3 occasions before a conviction also. So an institutional self is high risk physical agony and very dangerous. They're not taking any accountability for the physical agony. They're not taking any accountability for the life they've lost in a controlled state, whether it's education, sexual relations, whether it's being controlled into high-risk sexual degrading or physical assaults. They've opened an institutional self that's causing physical agony and controlling people into incidents, scenarios or situations that's not only incriminating but is apparently killing their power or damaging their power, whether it's physical assaults, sexual degrading, preventing somebody from getting an education, preventing somebody from getting work, whether it's using somebody in a controlled state for homosexual role plays or high-risk sexual degrading. The fact is they've opened an institutional self that's now wired completely shut, that's severely high-risk and dangerous, and they're not accounting for it. And it's cost me every day of my life, and they've also used it in it, or it's also been used, or it's caused severe incidents where I've been assaulted, cost me sexual relations with what I claim to be 50 women. They've stripped out my sex power. Like I said, regardless of what I do or what I don't do, other option but to live, unless South Yorkshire Police pull up 15 to 20 years of an institutional self out. My jaw's completely wired shut, physical agony, committing crime against me all day internally, up to 3,000 times a day, high risk catastrophic accusations, high risk transgressions, committing crime, torture all day internally. They want to blame his mental illness or other. Regardless, crippling physical agony, it's cost me every day of my life. You've got no other option whatsoever but to hunger strike. South Yorkshire Police's responsibility, every bit of it. You do not open an institutional self with a full, legitimate resettlement plan. It's costing people their lives.